apologies if there's like glare or something, because like I'm charging my phone and like it's at like a weird angle, and then there's that, and then there's like that light too, and my phone has like this edge screen, so like any light that bounces off of it, it glares out, and so that's why. But yeah, oh god, my legs are so fucking short. Fuck, I can like barely get on the bed. The boo boo. Sorry, my baby. I mean, my turtle. Conversation. Oh, yeah, and then after that friend, there's also, my uncle that I'm, like, rekindling with, and, like, it's fun, and I'm, like, happy, because, like, family. And then there's also my cousin I've rekindled with, so I'm really happy about rekindling with her, because we actually have, like, a lot in common, and, like, it's great. Yeah, and then there's my cousin who's older. He's like a guy, and I haven't talked to him in like 10 years at least. And I haven't talked with my other cousin Lisa in like 10 years at least either, in like in person. But like I've talked to her like through messages and like we FaceTime and stuff. But I haven't talked to like my guy cousin like at all. But I've like heard about it, and I mean like he's living his life, but like he's just kind of like, he's one of those people who's like super reserved, which Lisa is too, but she's like a little bit more like me, where she's like a little bit like, I don't know. We're very similar. Like I don't really know how to explain how we're similar, but like we are very similar. She's just like a little bit more reserved than I am. By a little, I mean a lot. But like not nearly as much as her brother, because her brother is extremely reserved. From what I've heard, and like he just holds grudges like forever, and like he still holds like a grudge against my uncle from like when they divorced from his and Lisa's parents, and like I mean mom, and like everyone else has kind of moved on except for him, and he's kind of like, I don't know, I don't know if I would say like depressed, because I've not met him yet, but like I don't know, he's just like a little bit like different. We're not gonna feel like bad, because like I've been where he is, like where he probably is, and like I've like I don't know, I just feel like we could like connect on like some deeper level. Like I feel like I could connect with him, but I don't have his number, I don't have his stuff, and I don't want to just like randomly like ask for it from someone. So like I feel like the next time I go to Washington, like I'll go to Washington, and then I'll like meet with him, and like maybe we can rekindle our like stuff from when we were kids and stuff, because I feel like I can like help him, and I can like support him and stuff, because like sometimes when you're that like reserved, and when you're that like deep in your grudges and your like hate, like it's just like you feel like you're all alone, and like no one like likes you, and like all of this negativity just like surrounds you, and it's like a dark cloud, and just like you can't escape it. It's fucking it feels like that a lot, and it sucks, and like I just want to be like there for him, because like sometimes like even if there are people there for you, like you just don't want to accept their help, because like you're just so used to those people that you're just kind of like, yeah, they're there, like I know they're there, I just don't want to go to them. Sometimes it's nice to have someone new come in and just be there, like, you know, which I kind of want to like be that person for him, but like I don't know, there's a big age difference between us too, so like maybe he won't like my help or like something, and he'll push me away. So I don't know. And then there's also back to school. I almost forgot him. One of my guy friends, I actually have two guy friends. One of them I've talked about, super buddy. Like we've already had this conversation about him, my relationship with him. And then I also have this other friend who's like a freshman, which I've talked to him a little bit too. But he's kind of like he's very social and very dependent on people, and like we're getting a little closer, and like he's okay. It's just kind of like hard to like push past his little like front that he has for everyone, for like social interactions and stuff, because he's just such a social butterfly that I feel like he's so used to like conforming to what people want and what people need for, like, the attention and stuff. And that's not how I'm like at all, and that's where we, like, really differ. And so I feel like he's always kind of, like, confused how to act around me, and now he's starting to act like himself a little bit. Or no, maybe it's not that he's starting to act like himself. I'm just starting to see the little bit of himself inside his mask, because I'm like listening and paying attention to him more than I used to, because I used to kind of just brush him off and being like, yeah, he's just like this little freshman fake kid. But, like, he's a lot more than that. I was just kind of, like, brushing him off because, like, we're so different, and, like, I just was like, well, he's my best friend's friend, so, like, I might as well just tolerate him. But he's a lot more than that. It's just that, like, I just didn't put in the effort and the time to, like, actually pay attention to him. But I am starting to now, and I feel bad for, like, judging him. I mean, he still is that. Like, he still is this little social butterfly who puts up the mask. But I'm starting to see through his little, like, seams and his, like, cracks in that mask. And, like, understanding him a little bit more. So, yeah. Hopefully, like, we'll get closer, too. But, yeah. I don't know, it's just amazing to me, like, how, like, social interactions can, like, affect you, especially me, because, like, I'm just so, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, I'm just so, like, I don't know, yeah, I don't know how to explain myself, but it's just crazy to see how far I've changed, because in 2016, 2 years ago, 18, 17, yeah, 2 years ago, I was with my mom. I was in middle school. I was, like, hiding. I was, like, so different than what I am now. Like, I was still, like, there were parts of me from then. It's just that, like, a lot of those parts, like, I hid, and I didn't really know how to express myself. I didn't know how to be myself, because I was just so used to lying. I was so used to, like, hiding. And, like, when I left my mom, like, that was, like, the first step to break free, and then, like, I don't know what exactly happened, but I guess through, like, the connections that I've made, like, the new connections that I've made, the rekindling of, like, family members and everything that I've made, like, they've, like, helped me exponentially. Like, they've, like, helped me grow so much. Like, I don't even know how to begin to explain the change that I've gone through. Which a lot of people, like, when I ask them, like, if I've changed, they kind of just like, yeah, a little bit, like, not much. And I'm just kind of, like, shocked, because, like, I guess, I don't know, like, how, but, like, they can't see it, but, like, inside, I can feel it. Like, I've changed so much, and I'm so happy now. Like, it used to be so hard to dredge up a genuine smile for me. Like, I used to be on the verge of tears, like, at least 10 times a day. I used to be so scared all the time. Like, every minute, I was terrified of everything. Like, I was always sheltered. I was always afraid. I was always, like, putting up walls. I was lying. I was, like, so much of it. And it's all, like, I mean, there's still parts of me that are like that, but so much of it is gone. So much of it has changed. So much of it I have learned from. And it's insane, because it's only been 2 years. And I've been building up all of those walls. I've been building up all those lies. All of that. For, like, decades. Okay, decades. I'm not decades old yet. Years. Like, years. Like, years upon years upon years upon years. Like, oh my god, so many years I've been building up those walls, and just in 2 years, they're almost gone. Like, and just in 2 years, I've changed so much. Like, it's incredible to me, like, how much I've changed, how much I'm happier. Like, how much I'm not afraid to be me. How much I'm, like, discovering myself. Like, you know? Like, it's just crazy to think about. Like, it's insane. Yeah, I have a pet turtle now. Like, Like, I have, like, friends, like, I'm, like, I had friends before, and they're, like, still very close to me, but I'm not sad anymore. I'm not, like, afraid. I'm not, like, only those friends, because they were, like, those friends were, like, my close friends, because, like, there were literally, like, 4 friends. And, like, now I have, like, dozens of acquaintances, and I have, like, at least, I don't know how many friends I went through, but, like, they're more than friends. They're, like, family to me. Like, they are my family. Like, I have so much more family now, where before I felt like I was all alone. I felt like hours away my grandma was, and then, like, minutes away my foster grandparents were, but, like, I just didn't feel safe calling them. Like, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to, like, break my walls. I couldn't bring myself to talk about anything because I was just so terrified. I was, like, terrified. I was, like, I love my mom. Like, she's my only family. Like, I can't leave her. I can't abandon her. Like, all of these thoughts, and they were just crippling me. They were so crippling. Like, I was so... Like, I wish I could, like, oh... I wish I could go back in time, but at the same time, I don't. Because, like, if I went back in time, I would not be the person I am today. Like, I would be a completely different person. And I'm so thankful for what I've been through because it's changed me. Like, it's changed me so much. Like, it's what's made me who I am today. Like, the people that I've met, like, they would not affect me the way that they have if I had not been through what I had been through. Which I would say that I've been through a lot, but I do not have any physical disabilities. Like, I'm not blind. I'm not deaf. I'm not, like, I don't have depression. I don't have anxiety. Like, I don't have all of these disabilities that other people have to suffer through, which I'm thankful for, and I'm, like, grateful for that, and I'm also, like, happy, but, like, I'm also, like I want to help those people, too, and then I'm not orphaned. Like, I have a family. Like, there's so much that could happen to me that like, I'm thankful for that I don't have, but at the same time, like, I'm just, like, I feel guilty for being thankful for that because, like, there are other people who are like that, but, like, you know what, like, just, whatever, like, it's just too much to think about, but, like, and then one of the biggest things that, like, used to, like, stop me from talking to people was that, like, you're being ungrateful, like, and that thought process still kind of affects me a little bit, but I'm not as, like, selfless as I used to be. Because selfless is a very big word. It's something that's hard for people. Because naturally, like, as human beings, as just, like, living beings that need to survive in the world, we're naturally selfish. Like, it's just survival of the fittest. Like, it's just how we are. And emotionally, like, I was just so used to, like, giving things up. I was so used to, like, doing things for other people. I was so used to giving. I was so used to, like, I don't know, like, just so used to that, like, I really felt so selfish anytime I had to take anything, anytime I had to use anything, because I was just so used to giving. Which, I mean, it sounds, like, so good, and, like, I'm so charitable, and, like, I'm, like, talking about myself and, like, too much goodness or whatever, but, like, it wasn't good. Like, you don't understand. Like, when you're that selfless, like, you don't have any thought for yourself. Like, you don't have any, like, self-awareness. Like, you're just always thinking about the other people. You're always thinking about, like, you gotta protect, like, them. Like, you have to, like, protect. Like, you can't let them know anything because, like, otherwise, like, something's gonna happen with, like, your family. Like, something's gonna happen to your mom. Like, something's gonna happen here. Like, you were all, like, I was always thinking about other people. I was always thinking about, like, what other people would say, what other people would do, like, how it would affect my mom, or how it would affect other people in my, like, family, like, my group, like, you know, like, I don't know if I'm making sense over here, but, like, I was just so selfless, and anytime I ever thought about abandoning my mom, like, that's what I always thought of it. I always thought of it as, like, abandoning her, and I was just, like, I can't, because, like, I'm not as bad as other people. Like, I have a house, like, I have a car, like, we eat every day, like, I mean, sure, like, I'm neglected in some ways, but in other ways, like, I should be grateful because I have an education system. Like, I went through all of this stuff where I should be grateful. Like, stop bashing yourself down. Like, you're being selfish. Like, stop it. But, like, that thought process was so bad. It was, like, it's good for some people, like, when you're, like, arrogant and, like, whatever, and you need to be, like, a little bit more selfless. But, like, because I was that, like, that was, like, my primarily thought process was being selfless, that I had no, like, no self-awareness. I had no, like, self-judgment. I had no, like, I wasn't taking care of myself. Like, I wasn't caring for myself. I was always caring about what other people, like, felt. I was always caring about, like, what other people did. Like, nothing, like, happened to me. Like, it was always about other people. Like, always. Like, always. And, like, anytime I did think about myself, like, I would always, like, stop the thought process because I thought I was being selfish. And that's just, like, that was just what was causing, like, what had me, like, stop talking and, like, build up these, like, ginormous walls that felt so big, but they were, like, paper thin. Like, girl, you could blow in them and they would knock down. But I just was, like, holding my breath. Like, I was holding my breath and I was building these walls and I was just like, you can't blow on them, because if you blow on them, they fall down, and you don't want those paper walls to fall down, do you? No. So I held my breath, and I held my breath for years. And those paper walls stood up, and they were so big. They felt so big, but they were literally just paper. They were just paper thin, and I just was too afraid to, like, blow them down. Like, they were literally just like a small little whisper of a breath. And I was just like, I didn't want to do it. Like, I just couldn't do it. Like, I just felt like that was too selfish to break down these walls. You weren't even breaking them down. You were just going to blow on them. Like, and that's all it was. It was too selfish, too. Like, I just felt like anytime I did something selfish, I always felt like something negative happened. I was just such a self-blamer. Like, I think part of it had to do with divorce. And I think part of it had to do with me being a rape victim, because I blamed myself, like, for, I don't even remember how long it took for me to talk about it, but it took me a while to talk about it, because I was just so self-blaming. And then when I finally did blame him, like, you got him in jail, and then I felt like he was wrongly accused, because I, like, lied primarily through it, because, like, I just couldn't bring myself to tell the truth, because I felt like I was being ridiculous, because, like, he never actually entered me, but he still sexually abused me, and he still, like, humped me, and he still, like, did shit to me, and, like, he would have raped me. I know for a fact he would have entered me at some point if that relationship continued, but thankfully, like, we got caught soon enough that it stopped, and I'm, like, incredibly, like, thankful for that, but, like, it could have got as bad as I lied about it getting. But it didn't. And, like, I just felt all this, like, incredible guilt because, like, I lied through it. And I just felt like, I'm a terrible fucking person because I lied about it. Like, I'm not a victim. He's the victim. Like, I'm the monster here. And that's what would, like, my thought process. And then I also, like, was so young back then. I was, like, maybe 9 when that happened with him. And then I was even younger. I was, like, toddler years. Like, 4 or 5 when my parents got the divorce, and that, like, I think that's when my first, like, self-blame, like, started. And then along with that, like, I went in with, like, Virginia with my mom, and, like, she was really bad back then too, because she was doing alcohol and drugs and partying, and I was with my cousin, and since I was the older one, I took the step up and was trying to protect her. And I think, like, the blaming me just started out so young that it's still with me to this day, and it just continuously got worse the more things happened to me. And I'm not saying that, like, what happened to me doesn't happen to others, because it happens to so many people, and, like, they're just so quiet, because I feel like they think they're, like, their little paper-thin walls are so strong, but they're not. Like, they're just a breath away. Like, guys, you just need to talk. You just need to talk, and they'll be gone. Like, honestly, like, you don't, like, you feel like they're so strong, but they're literally paper-thin. Like, you just, like, they're, like, I just feel like there's so many people out there who feel like that they're so alone, but they're not. They're not. Like, you just need to, like, speak. You just need to speak up. Like, just a little word. Like, you can literally say one sentence. And if you talk to the right people, they will speak up for you, just like my friends did back then. Just like how, oh my God, just so many people, like, you, like, when you're so, like, into your, like, barriers, like, you just, like, so into your lies that you start believing them yourself, and so into your self-blame that you think that you're alone, but you're really not, and, like, you build up these walls that you think are so sturdy, but they're literally paper thin. Like, it's all the illusion in your brain. And in your mind and your mentality. And like all you have to do is say one word. Maybe not even a word, like a sentence, something. You don't even have to like say anything. You could just show them. And like it'll make such a difference. Like such a difference. Like you've no idea. Like where I am now, like 2 years from when I was back there, like every day I was suffering, like I couldn't even think past the minute of what I was doing, like in that moment when I was there, because like anytime I thought forward in the future, like even 10 minutes in the future, like I would freak out, or if I thought any 10 minutes backwards, I would freak out, and I would just build these so-called sturdy walls, but they're literally paper thin, because there's nothing in the way of you speaking, except for your own mind. Like, that's all it is. Like, these barriers that you build, they're in your mind. They're just paper thin. You just have to speak, and they'll be gone. Just one little breath, and they'll be gone. Like, you just need to find the right people. Talk to the right people. Don't even talk. They can just say one word, or show them anything that will show them the pain you're going through. And if you talk to the right people, or you show the right people, they will make the difference. Like, you don't have to do anything. They will help you through it. And they don't even realize it sometimes. Like, they don't even realize how impactful they are to your life. Wow, this got really fucking preachy. But I just, like, wanted to talk about, like, how much change I've been through, and, like, how much change I want to help other people go through, because, like, I feel like so many people, like, suffer through stuff, and they think that, like, it's not, like, a big deal. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but, like, or they feed their negativity. And it's, like, it's not healthy either way, whether you hold it in because you feel guilt, or whether you accentuate it because you feel like you need more. Which you don't. Like, you just need to work through it, and you need to grow. Like, as a person, like, you need to grow and learn, just like I did. Just like how I'm doing right now. Like, you can never stop growing. You can never stop learning. You can never stop, like, being happier. Like, because there's never a set, like, happiness. Like, you can never become happier. Like, I mean, you can't, like, reach, like, a happy level. Like, there's no happy level. Okay? Like, you can go as fucking high as you want. Like, you can touch fucking Jesus' hand and, like, high-five him. Like, you can, like, dance with the unicorns. Like, boy, like, you can be as fucking happy as you want, okay? Like, there's no limitations on your happiness, okay? So don't put those limitations there. Because of the barriers that you feel like you need to put up. Because you don't. Like, anyone can help you. Like, if you go to the right people, like, you can find help. It can be literally in the most unexpected places, too. Like, or it can just be staring you right in the face and you just don't even think about it. And you're just so afraid. But don't let that fear cripple you. Don't let it cripple you. Because, like, those crippling fears are what building those walls that you think are so strong. They're literally paper thin. You can just breathe and they'll be gone. Okay? Just, like, let it out. Let it out, boy. Like, let it out. Like, I will fucking slap you myself if you don't let it out in a minute, okay, boo-boo? Like, we're gonna have a problem. Oh my god. Wow, okay. I don't know, I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest. Like, just like, it doesn't matter what you're going through, no matter how big or so-called small it is. Like, if you're in pain, no matter how small, and you need some sort of outlet, some sort of release, like, anything, like, even if it's just talking, or even if it's just doing something, you should do it. Even if you feel guilt about it, because that guilt is, like, guilt is both a good and a bad thing. A bad thing when it's, like, unnecessary. Like, unnecessary, boo-boo. If you, like, it doesn't matter, like, where you are in the world, what language you speak. Like, guilt and feelings are the same, you know? So, like, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Point is, boo-boo, like, break through your so-called damn fucking strong walls, because they're not that strong, okay? Just speak up. Just do whatever you need to do to get out of that barrier. Because that barrier is what's restricting you. That barrier is what's creating your fear. That barrier is what's hurting you. You're hurting your damn self, okay, boo-boo? It's not other stuff that's hurting you. It's you letting that other stuff hurt you. It's you building those walls to surround yourself in with that monster. You think you're building your walls to protect you from the so-called monsters of the world, but you're literally caging yourself in with that said monster. Okay. I think I'm done now. Point is, boo-boo, break down those walls. I think I've said this again. I'm saying this again because, like, it's important. And I'm, like, getting very repetitive because, like, hello. We get repetitive in this bitch, okay? Literally, my body just, like, unconsciously followed my lead in the repetitive thing because it just did the... Wait. Yeah, that's it. Thing twice. Like, I didn't even realize I do it twice. Okay. But, yeah. Oh my god. Okay. We're done here. Bye.